know you guys are probably tired of seeing my face.
I'm here with men's lacrosse today. Head coach Troy Moyer, Schreiber, Beau Kirschke. Coach, you just got off of a big win over Concordia University Irvine. Kind of take us over that win and how you squeaked that one out there just at the end, but we'll take it.
Yeah. Kind of a sense of relief out of the game. I think, we played just well enough to deserve the win. I don't think we played to our standard, as you guys have heard me talk about time and time again in these meetings. And so, got the job done because we got more points on the board than they did, but didn't necessarily play to our best. It just felt like we couldn't really get in a rhythm, get anything going. I will say defensively, these guys and Shaden Shields kind of stood up. And, I was talking on the radio show this morning, and they mentioned how Shaden had, I think, 13 saves. And, you don't typically put it on one person and he win. I know there was a lot of different plays that went into it, but if he had played any differently, we're probably not talking about coming away with that W. So it was nice to see him perform as well.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what your second National Player of the Week performance this year. Kind of how big has that been for the team as you guys progressed throughout the season playing such high-level competition?
Yeah, I don't want to talk for these guys, but, my perspective on it is Shaden played to his standard, or at least closer to his standard. First time around we played him, he had 20 saves, and he played extremely well in big moments when we needed him to make the saves. So I think for these guys, it was, more just seeing what we were expecting out of him. Shaden's a phenomenal player, and, we've talked in the past, guys below him, Luke and Grant have been pushing him to work extremely hard as well. And so it was just nice to kind of see a guy in the net play with some confidence again. I think maybe over the past couple of games he hadn't been playing his best, and so he came out and made a lot of saves. And I think if you ask him, he probably wished he had a couple more. But, like I said, huge to get that win and have him play the way he played.
Got a question for both the players here. You guys are on a 17-game home winning streak. Kind of how nice was it to finally get to play back at home this last week and then come up again this week? It'd be back on your own field at Unity Field. How nice is that, especially being on the road so much throughout the season?
I think it was awesome. It was one of our biggest showouts I've ever seen. Like, looking over from our perspective, the bleachers go high and there are people all the way up there. So it was really exciting, and to brag to campus of we got a home game. We have a game coming up because most people don't even know we have a team. So it's pretty great. Them showing out, and they're like, well, that was actually really fun. So it's good to show out.
It's really great just to have the whole team back home. And we've been traveling so much, and obviously we can't bring our whole team on these trips, but having a whole week of practice leading up to a game where everyone is there, all together, working together to focus on the same goal, and then ultimately in the game, all of us just being there, cheering each other on. It's a really, really nice atmosphere that we haven't experienced yet this season, but it really changes, your mentality and your mood during the game.
Mm-hmm. And then Caleb, you were named the RMX Summit Award winner last year. Kind of how was it like balancing the life of being an athlete and a student, especially you've been on the road so much, but then also having these home games? I mean, how do you balance the life of a student athlete?
It's definitely tough. You just have to really block out the time to do actual school. It's especially when you're taking a lot of credits, you can't just sit around all day and sit on your phone. So it helps a lot that I'm in the library a lot, helping me with running study hall too, because that helps me just get my school done. But you really just have to make sure that you're not just sitting around all day, because things do kind of catch up on you.
Mm-hmm. And that question for you, Beau. You missed the first 4 games due to an injury, but now you're kind of getting back to the lineup. Kind of how have you seen that adjustment, getting back into the games and kind of getting back to speed after missing the first few?
It's exciting for me personally. It's been a long road coming. I've had injuries in the past in high school, so I've been around and kind of know how it deals, but pretty proud of our team because honestly it felt like they didn't need me. Our defense has been looking really, really good, so just excited for our team because I'm a great addition, but I think our defense is pretty stellar.
Say, Coach, you're coming off a good win against Concordia Irvine, kind of getting a little bit of a rivalry building there, and then obviously you also have a pretty good rivalry with your next opponent with Westminster. So it's kind of fun to see that kind of grow. And then how do you you don't have to really get the guys ready for Westminster.
Yeah, no, I think you hit the nail on the head there with the first part of your question, and we're kind of growing multiple rivalries out here in the conference, and it's just great to see. Obviously, as the coach of CMU, I want us to go out and win every game, but to have teams that are truly extremely competitive, not just within our own conference, but when they go out and travel to other places. CUI had Rollins come to them this year and picked up a big win for a team that was ranked in the top 20. Westminster was on the road and got a couple, and I think they had Lynn at home, and they picked up a win against a Florida school. Anytime our teams out here in the West can pick up wins against teams from the East, I think it's awesome to see. Now, when we get into these games, these guys said it. I think that home environment against CUI was electric. You could really feel the energy pulsing through the stadium, both in the stands and the guys on the sideline. They were just feeding into it, and so it was great that we were able to pick up a big win against a team who's quickly becoming a rival of ours. When we got Westminster on Sunday, that game speaks for itself. It just has the history. These guys have been a part of some big Westminster games, and then the alumni are always kind of sending me text messages. We have an alumni group that goes off like crazy anytime there's a Westminster game, and so it's kind of built into who we are. It's just been us in Westminster for so long. You don't really have to do much to get them pumped up. We don't really like the guys in purple, and I don't think they really like us. So that game will be awesome to play on Sunday as well.
So guys, obviously anybody just says Westminster and a lacrosse player just kind of bristles. It's so easy to get ready for them. You also have another game before that, so obviously you got to take care of business earlier this week. But